Oh, it's not been an easy path, but Cincinnati police and the city's African American communities are working more closely together than ever before.
Community leaders say they can see the difference that cooperation has made in the city's neighborhoods. 9 News reporter Bill Price finds 10 years later, the struggle continues to make sure those gains are not lost.
As the Cincinnati police and both the city and community leaders started to search for ways to ease the unrest of the spring of 2001, they started to talk to one another. Cincinnati Can Commission and the collaborative agreement brought all sides together, figure out how to reduce those tensions. The former and current pastors of the New Prospect Baptist Church in Over the Rhine, Reverend Damon Lynch Jr. and his son Damon Lynch III, say they have seen a difference.
Since 2001, we've seen a not a dramatic, but a change for the better. I'm always an eternal optimist, and I think that since 2001, the police and the community, they have a better relationship.
One of several groups that's been trying to bring the community and Cincinnati police together has been working through the Urban League of Greater Cincinnati. It's called the Community Police Partnering Center and was first established 9 years ago in 2002.
What it did was it brought community members together with members of the police department in a way that they could see each other as being on the same team. And I think it helped to lower some of the anxieties that members of the community have, some of the distrust, and over time there have been relationships built that I don't think could have been built without that facilitation. In the wake of a number of police-involved shootings of young African-American men, Deja and Ed and others look closely at how and when Cincinnati police use force, especially deadly force. It was a kind of an overall approach to both bringing in new tools as tasers and also teaching officers when the use of force was appropriate. And I think what has happened over the course of this time has been a kind of a reduction of the threshold of the use of force. A different program to bridge the gap between Cincinnati police and the younger African-American community is called SERVE, or Cincinnati Initiative to Reduce Violence. It uses street workers to reduce gun violence by
the building of relationships with our youth and young adults. I think that what we were able to do was reach out to young people, young adults, who were at risk for gun violence, as well as violence particularly. Ross says some of his proudest moments came when he could show young people that police officers really did care. I've heard several guys say, the police have never talked to me like this before, in a way of respect, in a way of saying you have a choice, in a way of being able to point you to somebody that can help you, and if you don't take this carrot, so to speak, then these are going to be the consequences. With Cincinnati facing a budget squeeze, the question is, will there still be money for these programs? It's my sincere hope that as we approach this issue of how policing happens in Cincinnati and Hamilton County in the future, that we're going to take a hard look at what has worked up to this point in time. Meanwhile, Stan Ross is creating his own private company, seeing if he can attract enough grants and corporate funding to keep his program on the street along with the police. Bill Price, 9 News.
As part of this project, we want to hear your story. 9 News will be in the Gateway Quarter on Vine Street tomorrow at noon to record your opinion on camera. You can also join the conversation in our special section on WCPO.com/10 years later, on Twitter at 10 years later, and Facebook on our 10 years later page.
And you can get involved in changing the city. You can mentor, you can volunteer, or you can help by donating to programs we'll be talking about in our series. Find a list of ways you can do that on our website, WCPO.com/10 years later. Speaking of tutoring,